Hi, this is Nomi Shannon, the Raw Gourmet. And because it's beautiful summertime with lots of fresh crops, mostly tomatoes and basil, I thought I'd make you summer tomato basil soup. This is a recipe in my book, The Raw Gourmet, and here's the recipe. It's a lot of my recipes are at my site, rawgourmet.com. I don't think this is, so I'm going to read it to you. This is on page 101 of The Raw Gourmet, and here's the recipe. Now I'm actually going to make half the recipe because someone's going to eat all this and I can't eat it all. 3 cups of tomato puree, and how you get that is you just keep adding tomatoes to the blender until you have 3 cups, and that should be, somewhere between, 4, 5, 6 tomatoes, 6 to 8 medium-sized tomatoes. 1/4 of a lemon, peeled and seeded, and so this is a little smaller than that, and I like the taste of the yellow of the lemon rind, so I added that to it. If you like that too, you can. An avocado, large handful of sprouts if you have them. Today I have pea shoots, which I'll tell you about in a minute, and I'll be using them, instead of blending them in, I'll be putting them on the top. 2 tablespoons chopped fresh basil. You'll see how I measure 2 tablespoons in a moment. Tablespoon of chopped onion if you want. A small clove of garlic if you want. Additional sprouts and basil flowers. So if that was too fast for you, just rewind and you'll be able to listen again. So I've started the process of making puree, but in order to have the half recipe, I still need 1.5 cups. I wanted to mention about tomatoes to you. If you're not growing your own, although lots of people grow their own tomatoes and basil in the summer, look for heirloom tomatoes. They're wonderful right now. I got these from a health food store chain in Southern California called Henry's. And then I got these little lovelies at my beloved Trader Joe's. And these are mostly cherry tomatoes, but they put one big one in there. They don't usually do that. These are mini heirlooms. And here's a delicious, I love the heirlooms that look like this. They're very dark. They're almost a wine color. They're a slightly lower acid. They're often a Japanese tomato, but I think a lot of different people are growing them now. And I just love these so much. And also, if you're not growing your own basil, and again, I know you people that don't have a Trader Joe's must hate me because I mention it so much. Trader Joe's, I think this was $2.49. It used to be $1.79. They have them both organic and non-organic, and I usually get the organic, but I look for what looks freshest and best. All this basil, I did get the non-organic yesterday, but this is a huge amount of basil. I mean, unless you're making huge recipes, you're never going to finish it all up. And it's just fresh and wonderful, and usually that much basil for $2.49 is a teeny little sprig, like maybe, this much. So it's a good resource. There's Trader Joe's in New York City. They're all over the East Coast, all over the West Coast, and in the center of the country, like Illinois. I wonder if I should get them to pay me because I'm always talking about them. So I'm just going to, I think this one's from my own garden, this tomato. My tomatoes don't taste that good because I just planted them recently, and they haven't really gotten the benefit of, my soil yet. Just sort of, next year I'll do better. So, just going to get now I'm doing, it really just makes enough for 2, but it's a generous amount, so I didn't want to make too much. Now, because summer tomatoes are delicious, summer is the time for you to make this recipe. But if you're making like a marinara or something in the winter, what I recommend you do is, the tomatoes don't taste as good in the winter, is get some sun-dried tomatoes, get them from an organic raw source, not in oil. These have been soaked in some oil, but I'm using them for something else. I just wanted to show them to you. Don't get the kind soaked in oil. Get the kind that are dry and sun-dried. So all right, now I'm up to, it's not a half recipe, it's a little more than that, so you'll get the idea. So now I'm going to add my lemon and my avocado. Notice I'm using a K-Tech, so I don't really have to cut things up too much. And that's true of a K-Tech or a Vitamix. If you have a regular blender that you're using, I suggest everything get cut small and that you blend quite often, blend in steps. Now, I'm actually not using olive oil for this recipe, but I wanted to show you a good way to smash your garlic, so you don't have to go through too much trouble chopping it. How's that for a good smash? How's that? All right, I'm not going to use the whole garlic because it was a whole garlic for the full recipe, and I don't want it to taste like garlic soup. So we'll just do a little bit like that. And of course, I'm going to taste and adjust as we go. And then it's 2 tablespoons of basil. I'm gonna, I love basil, so I don't chop it, and neither do you have to if you have a nice blender. So what else? I did the tomatoes, the lemon with a little bit of peel, the avocado, the sprouts. I found these at Trader Joe's, and these are pea shoots, and they're really delicious. They're made from peas, soil grown, but I'm not going to want them blended in. They're very fibrous-y, and they'll change the taste too much, so I'm going to use them as a garnish. But they're delightful and quite easy to grow at home. I did the basil. I don't want to do the onion. So that's it.